And to the black community specifically, like, are we perfect? Cause we must be perfect, because nobody can tell black people anything. If I get up here and I preach to the black community, it's, oh, you hate black women, or you a Uncle Tom, you a Sambo, you supporting whites. Like, nah, bro. If someone's saying something to shine light on an issue in the community that can probably improve the community, what's the problem? If Dr. Umar said, and y'all know y'all love Dr. Umar, I don't know why. You know, he does say some legit stuff, but I give you that. If Dr. Umar, you know, shines light on an issue in the black community, y'all got a problem with him. White people can't do it. Black people can't do it. Who can do it? If a black woman do it, y'all call her a pick-me. Who can do it, bruh? So, I mean, y'all mad at Charlie Kirk, and he did say some wild thing. He did spew some wild stuff about the black community. We ain't gonna sit here and debate that. That's not a debate. But I think his intent was, you know, just to speak the truth. That's all, you know. And the truth doesn't always feel good. Like, for instance, when he brings up the black on black crime, you know, people don't realize, like, yeah, we do unalive each other more than any other race unalives us. It's a fact. Is it comfortable to hear? No. But y'all hear him say it. Now y'all talking about he hate black people. It's a fact. It don't matter who say it. It's a fact, bruh. So the black community specifically, we just too sensitive, man. And because you don't like what someone said, you get online and start celebrating their assassination. At the end of the day, we all Americans. We all human. You're sick and you're evil. Like, this shit is crazy, bro. I never thought I would see something like this in my life, man. And it's sad.
He's right, bro. Like, honestly, there is nobody, and when I say nobody, I mean nobody, that can hold the black community accountable. They'll try to cloak it and try to act like, well, no, it's how you say it, or you're too abrasive, or whatever. It doesn't matter. Listen, this is not the first time that the community or the community actually celebrated somebody's death. They do it all the time. They did it to Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels actually was much, much, much tougher on men than he was on women, but he was tougher because he wanted them to be the best. He wanted them to be great. He wanted to open up satellite spaces where, young black men would be able to go and then enjoy themselves. And that's one of the things that he would talk to me about on a regular basis. But they don't care. They don't care about that. They're not interested in hearing none of that. They only want to do what they want to do. So they tried to make it out to make it seem like, oh, he hate black women. But it wasn't until he started holding women accountable for the things that they wanted. He never asked them for anything. He never wanted to get anything from them. They would call into the show and say, this is what it is that I want. And then he would have a conversation with them and help them to understand, okay, well, if this is what you want, this is what you need to do. And they absolutely destroyed his legacy, or tried to. You can never destroy the legacy of a person that, did some significantly great things in the community. And so they went off on him. They went off on Charlie Kirk because they invited themselves up to the debate podium, could not substantiate their argument. And when he told them the truth, because everybody act like they want to hear the truth until they hear the truth, right? And so he told them the truth. He said, listen, 1 out of every 4 children, specifically black boys, are going to grow up with 2-parent households. See how I did that? You thought I was going to say without a father. No, roughly more than 75% of every black boy or person is going to not have a father, meaning that they are going to grow up in a single parent household. This is more egregious than it's ever been before. But that's not an issue, right? That's not the issue. The issue is that he pointed it out. We can go to the statistics, and then, what they're going to do. They're going to make excuses. Oh, my God, it's a system. All they doing is spewing talking points. Everybody got the same talking points, but nobody can actually point to the progress that is happening. So what they think that you should do is just continue to throw more resources at them. And that's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. Like the guy said, the reason why so many men pander to him, the Dr. Umars, and they say you a queen and all of this stuff, Is because they know that in order for you to show up, they got to tell you what you want to hear. They got to soothe your ears. And so you don't want to hear that part of it. You don't want to actually substantiate what the truth is. And so, you want to be comfortable and you want to be comforted. And that's what they do. They pander to y'all. And y'all don't even realize that all they doing is now monetizing your crime. Whenever you have a group of people at a clip, let's just take black women, let's alone. Whenever you have a clip, a group of people voting at a clip at 92%, that means that they know to just tell you what you want to hear because you're not even asking for nothing. You don't even want nothing. You can't even put no pressure on a politician because they already know how you gonna vote. Do you understand what I'm saying? It don't matter if it come from a black person. Don't matter if it comes from a white person, they're gonna hate them all the same. If it comes from a white person, they're gonna say that they racist. If it comes from a black person, they're gonna say that they a coon. And so, I've been called out of my name. It don't matter how many black people that you employ. It don't matter how many black women you employ. It doesn't matter if you're married to a black woman, if you got a black daughter, if you've been in your marriage, you're an example. It don't matter what you believe. They're going to say you're a fake Christian and they're going to they divided against themselves. They got their own gangs. They got multiple different gangs that would rather war with each other than warring with other races. And that's how you know everything is messed up. That's how you know things is messed up. If you tell them to cut their hair in order to get a better job or improve their family, they're going to go against that. If you tell them to stop committing crime, hey, we want to go and stop crime inside of your neighborhoods and your communities. Instead of your schools failing, instead of these politicians that look like you continuing to run your city into the ground, what we're going to do is we're going to actually stop the crime in your communities, and they protest against that. If they say, hey, listen, man, you need to think differently, and we going to start to raise kids that are actually nerds, they're going to say you a lame. Bro, I'm telling you, the most toxic environment to grow up in has to be growing up in a community where everything is the opposite, where good is bad and bad is good. It's crazy, bro. It's the only because I've had the privilege of experiencing both as I was growing up. My father sent me to private school, a Catholic tuition-based private school that forced us to start growing up and looking at things as men and to do the volunteer work and all of this other stuff. And you had to actually earn your keep. And it didn't matter what your socioeconomic status is, but the conversations and the standards was based off of who was the smartest, who was the best, who was this. These are the people that we're going to promote. This is the stuff. And if you do something bad, you're going to get punished as a result of it. Whereas where I then went back to, regular public school, and I seen a vast difference because, you know, being thugs and all of that stuff was celebrated. And those were the people that, was exalted and got the most attention from the teachers. Not necessarily because they were doing the right thing, but because, you know, they thought that was cute. And it's just crazy. It's crazy. So I'm not sure if the community, if the culture is cursed, because I don't believe that it's all black people. But I don't know if the culture is going to forever be cursed, but not mine's. Not mine's. I don't teach my daughter to hate. I don't teach my daughter anything is based off of your skin color. I don't teach her any of that. She's very much a strong, conservative, good girl that don't believe in being out in the streets and God forbid, you know what I'm saying, she see a bull nose ring or that septum nose ring, she be cracking up like that is so horrible. But, I think differently, and I think that some people are starting to wake up. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Teach Henley, 40% off your first order, 20% off of life. Always want to link it back to the content creator in order to give them credit. I love you. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.